Hi, welcome to the Crafts channel. My name is Corinne Brad and I'd like to show you today how to make some glorious yarn feathers. Now you've probably seen these all over Pinterest and Instagram. They are the simplest things to make. All you really need is a crochet hook. I've got a 4mm crochet hook here and a ball of yarn. Now you can use acrylic, you can use cotton. Try and make sure it's a DK weight so that you've got something decent to grip onto, and especially if you've just started out crocheting or working with yarn, DK is a nice size, a 4mm hook is a nice size. They're not too big and unwieldy, and you get a nice end result. So start with a slip knot. Simply take your finger behind the yarn, twist it, and then use it as a hook to make a slip knot and pop it onto your crochet hook. And leave yourself quite a long start end because that will become one of the tines of your feathers. If you put 2 or 3 fingers behind the yarn and just wrap it around there, you can hold it here and it gives you a little bit of tension without having to grip the yarn too tightly, so it's a nice relaxing process. I'm going to make a chain of about 20 for the length of the feather, so bring the yarn over your hook and slip it through, over and through. I'm going to stop talking because otherwise I am going to lose count. That's 5. Let's make it 18 long. 16, 17, 18. And then, so that will be the length of my feather. And then I'm just going to put another 8 stitches on here so that I've got a hanging loop, because what you can do is you can hang them from a beautifully curated twig that you found in your back garden. But they do look really pretty, especially hanging in a window. So we'll just do another 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then count back down 2, 4, 6, 8, and then just pop your hook in that 9th stitch from your original loop and pop it in so that you've got 2 bits of yarn on top of the hook and 1 bit of yarn underneath. And then we're just going to slip stitch back down the length. Now a slip stitch is different from a double crochet because instead of pulling it through and then bringing this yarn over again, you just pull it through both loops. And again, slip stitch, I nearly tried to do a double crochet then, slip stitch down the length. It's one of those things, when you crochet and you're so used to doing a particular stitch, trying to do something a bit different, you end up forgetting yourself. The number of feathers that I've made that have started out with a very thin quill to them, and then it's got thicker and thicker as I've gone down the end because I've just not been paying attention to what I'm doing. Oh, where am I? Oh yeah, that's where I am. So as I say, take it through your chain. I might need to put my reading glasses on for this. I thought I could manage without it, with a darker colour yarn. Here we go. And I've always found with crochet that this first foundation row is the trickiest thing with crochet. Everything else just falls into place really easily because the way that crochet works, the holes that you need to go into, the gaps that you need to pass your hook into become blindingly obvious. But with this first chain, because it is just a chain, it will twist and it will turn and it will become a bit of a pain in the backside, to be quite honest with you. So here we go. I think I might have done a double crochet there somewhere along the line. But take your time when you're doing this foundation row because it really does, it's noticeable. It will be in the centre of your feather. And whereas with a lot of projects you can just disguise the errors, this will be on permanent display. So try and get it as neat and straight and as even a bit of tension as you can. I've just split the wool there, hold on. Oh, I can't wait for this foundation row to be over. I suspect you can't wait for it to be over either. Here we go. Last couple of stitches. There you go. And then just trim your yarn and pull it through. And then what I would do is I would just tie those two ends of yarn in a reef knot, because they will become the end of your feather. So you've got your quill of your feather, and then you need to make the bits that stick out from the side, the names of which I cannot for the life of me remember. So if you use your whole palm and wrap your yarn around it, take the loop off your hand and snip it so you've got several pieces of yarn like this, just like you were making a rug. Take one of your pieces of yarn, I'm just going to move them out of the way so you can focus on this better, and fold it in half. And then if you take your crochet hook and working from the loop at the top of the feather, just pop your crochet hook in one of the stitches at the side, grab your folded yarn, pass it through, bring both ends over and thread it through like this and pull it tight. Take your next one, put it through a stitch, pass it through and pull it tight. And you continue to add the yarn down both sides of your spine, quill, whatever you want to call it. But just make sure you work from one side to the other, because then what you're going to do is with these lark's head knots that you're creating, you're going to get the nice bumps on each side, and it is nice to have it fairly symmetrical. Now there is a way of doing these feathers, which if you're not particularly crochet inclined, is just as simple, or actually possibly even simpler. And I'm going to show you that in a minute, so hang on, even if you don't like crochet. So what you'll do is you'll keep adding them until you end up with your feather like this. And as you can see, all the lark's head knots are on the same side, and it's really quite a nice bulky feather. And then what I have done is where you've tied a reef knot at the bottom of this, there's a little loop that's created here. Just add more tassels to the bottom of that so your feather isn't open-ended at the bottom. If you don't like crochet, let me just quickly show you this other method. It's really handy if you've got a clipboard. This is the clipboard that I covered earlier because it was horrible and I didn't want it to look horrible on screen. Get yourself a length of yarn, fold it in half like this. I need a bit bigger length of yarn. Get yourself 2 lengths of yarn. Preferably 2 lengths of yarn that are actually the same size, but hey, never mind. That'll do. And tie a knot in the top. So you've got your hanging loop. And if you clip that knot onto a clipboard, forgot the name of it for a minute there, and then just pull your stems, I don't know if you can see that, just pull it taut and clip the ends at the bottom of the board like this, so that you've got a taut base to work on. And then get a crochet hook again. These short ends of yarn that you've got, if you pop your crochet hook under your taut stem and bring it back, bring it through and pass it through in a lark's head knot in that direction. And then do the same. Oh, this is difficult, crocheting with my left hand. In the other direction. Actually, you don't even need a crochet hook for this. You can do this with your fingers. I'm not making a very good job of demonstrating how you do it with your fingers though. So what you're doing is you're making a series of lark's head knots on either side of this taut stem. Yeah, I need to do it that way. And just work from side to side. And as you tighten those knots, just push them up so that you get a nice full feather. There's nothing like a bedraggled feather's really not going to look very nice on display on your wall. And this is just as quick, if not quicker, than the crochet method, but it does mean that you don't have quite so thick a quill in the centre. Whichever way you decide to do it, you will end up with a miraculously colour changing feather for a start. No, you'll end up with a feather that's a bit straggly, because no matter how hard you try, you'll never get all your ends of yarn the same length in the same place. So just simply lay it out on a flat surface. And if you are lucky enough to have a cutting mat and a rotary cutter, you can simply hold the stem and then just cut down the side like this. If you don't have a rotary cutter, which, if you're not hardcore into quilting and things like that, you possibly won't, you can quite simply just take a decent pair of scissors, and once you've combed it out with your fingers, you can just trim the ends off. Ooh, I think there's something stuck to my scissors that's stopping them closing. Just clip those ends off neatly so that you've got a nice delicate floaty feather. So I know there was quite a lot of interest on our Facebook page. If you haven't checked out the Craft Channel's Facebook page, please do. Please like us if you wouldn't mind, because we've always got lots of hints and tips and photographs of other projects on there, and it's quite a nice community. And I know a lot of people wanted a demonstration for these feathers, so I hope that you like it. I hope I've done you proud, and I hope that you will join us again soon. Thank you. If you've been inspired to create, please share your makes with us in the comments section below. And if you've enjoyed videos by the Crafts Channel, hit the like button. Want to see more of us? Then click subscribe. See you next time.